All right, family. Welcome to another session, and yeah, welcome. So today we'll be talking about a very interesting topic. All right, and this is a concept I learned from the Inner Circle Trader ICT, and it's something that has been of much benefit to me. All right. I don't really use all of ICT concepts, but for me, this is one of the best concepts that he has released to the general public. All right, and this was part of his 2022 mentorship. Yeah, it's been 2022 free YouTube mentorship. Yeah, topics, something of that sort. Right, and something that I've actually used. Well, I've been practicing right from when I came across it sometime in I don't know, June or so, around June or yeah, May June. Can't remember when I came across it, but I know it was earlier this year and maybe the middle of the year, and that's been something has really made the difference for me. All right, and what is it? Is the power of trade, right? Yes, the power of trade. It's a very interesting topic, and I'll be using Ray chat to us. I will explain what it all talks about, and then how we can apply it. Right, so we'll talk about the power of trade, right? Power of trade, and I know this is yeah. So when talking about the power of trade, we're referring to three things basically. We're referring to what? Accumulation. We're talking about manipulation. This is what makes up the power of trade, right? The manipulation, and then we're talking about the distribution. This is what makes up the power of trade. All right, this is it. So the power of trade: accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. So what does this mean, and how can we use this in our chart, right? So I'm talking about the power of trade with regards to the daily time frame and the weekly time frame, right? So I will just make it easy for you guys, right? I will just break it down and talk about it in general, then I'll bring it to the daily time frame and how you can use it for your intraday trading, and then the weekly time frame and how you can use it for what your swing trading. All right. So now, what is the power of trade? The power of trade is basically a concept that is imbibed in the structure of the daily candle. All right, it's a smart money concept that is generated from the delivery of the candlesticks. Right now, you know, a bullish candle will usually look like this, right? Let me try to draw a bullish candle, right? So the bullish candle looks like, right? A bullish candle. Most of have asked the question that why is it that a bullish candle will usually look like this? Why must it open and drop down before going higher? And what do I mean? Look at this chart carefully. Look at the bullish candles. Can you notice something about the bullish candles? Can you notice something about the bullish candles? Look at it. Look at the bullish candles. Can you notice that each candle that was bullish will usually form a lower wick? Look at where I'm pointing at. A lower wick before going higher. See this bullish candle? It formed a lower wick before going higher. Lower wick before going higher. You can see how it usually occurs. Bullish can kind of that will close bullish usually drop down first before going higher. All right. Can you see it? Most like when the market is really impulsive, look at it. Open, draw down higher, open, draw down higher. Can you see that majority of the bullish candle have this concept, right? So that is what let's take note of that. Now let's go to what we're talking about, all right? So now we know that the bullish candle looks like that, something like that, right? So we have the bullish candle looking like this. All right, so a bullish candle looks like. I may need to color this blue so you can understand what I'm talking about. So a bullish candle usually look like this, right? So what is the meaning of this? This is a smart money concept that, um, although I know that you will usually find an upper wick sometimes, but our focus is this lower portion. That is where we want to trade, right? And that's what we want to trade. Now, you know that the market looks like this on a bullish market. What is the wise thing to do? Is it wise to be trying to sell the market when it is obviously going to drop down and then go higher? You can say the major move was what upwards. You can say when it sold down here, it gave a run to the upside. Is it wise to be trying to catch a sell when the market is giving a bullish candle, or is it wise to be joining the buy? It's not wiser that when the market drops down, you're looking for buys. Imagine that you bought this market when it dropped down here and then you cut it all to this point. You have said that you have made a lot of profit, right? So you're trying to do what? Trying to catch a bullish candle for buys in a bullish candle, and then sells in a bearish candle. Now let us label this. Now this is the power of trade. This whole candle, I'm going to explain this now. Look at this something. Now, when the market opens, we do what? We mark the open price of the candle, right? So we have marked what? The open price. So you can label that open price. Follow me closely. So we have, I'm trying to make this easy. So we have the open price of the candle. All right, we're getting the open price, which was the open. Then when market drops down, this drop down is what we call the manipulation. So from here, from this point, this distance, oh no, sorry. So this distance is what we call the manipulation, right? So when the market opened there, we have what? The accumulation. That means the market was supposed to buy, but it first of all, it accumulated what? Short orders and then dropped down. All right. It accumulated short orders and then dropped down, giving what? The manipulation. That means between this open, that means at the open price, that is where the accumulation of the opposite positions actually come in. The market intends to buy. When the market opens first, it accumulates short orders and then drops down to give what? Its manipulative leg. And most times, this drop down kind of takes a stop loss. It kind of liquidates anyone of maybe if there was maybe a kind of double top resting around the middle, it's not a double top or Asian low resting here. Usually find out that this drop down usually do what? Take out liquidity to the downside and then finally do what? Break upwards. Always have that in mind. I will explain this in Richard. Don't worry. So now this drop down, this lower week portion is what we call manipulation. All right, the manipulation. So that's what you have. So that's the manipulation, the manipulative move. Why is manipulative? Because it's the opposite. The market wants to buy, but look at what happened to it. It's first of all draw dynamics in between here is what. This is where the manipulation occurred, right? The market was supposed to be bullish, but it first of all did what? Gave its manipulative leg. And then what do we have? A market that reversed and then finally bought. So now somewhere around this lower week, so we had what? The distribution of what? Long positions. So when the bullish market, it first of all accumulates shorts, then give that manipulative leg and then distribute the original what? Positions. That means smart money did what? Accumulated shorts, took price lower for the manipulative leg and then distributed the original position, which is what? The longs, and then because of market it bought. So now we have understood what this thing means, that for a market to be bullish, you usually find what? A reverse movement. The market will first of all go the opposite direction before going with the intended direction. And that happens a lot on the daily time frame. I'll explain this to you. So now when you talk about open price, take note that you're using the New York time. This is for currency pairs now. This is specific for currency pairs. Use the New York time for your open price. So simply come to this point here and then click on time zone. Then scroll over towards New York, not the gutter. You come to New York. So using the New York midnight time for to know when the midnight is. So you're using this as your base of reference for what? The open price on the daily time frame. So now let's go down to the data. So now for a daily time frame, it looks like this. So you see the market open, drop down, and then go higher. So now your duty is to do what? To look for buy positions when the market has obviously run low. You have to wait for the market to run below, and then you can look for buys. Note, you mustn't try to pick, you mustn't catch the buy at the lower week. Once the market is done with the manipulation, then you can look for buys, right? You can look for buys anywhere. You can look for buys there, and even inside this upper portion, you can still look for buys even inside there. As long as the market still has room to go up, you can still keep looking for what buys. And because the market is done with manipulation, then your buys will likely do what play out because the market is done selling. So most likely, even 1 minute entry will buy, 2 minutes entry. This is where lower time frame becomes beautiful. When the higher time frame is has decided to go in your intended direction, you usually find that the lower time frame will work perfectly. That means when you're buying, it's buying perfectly. If you're looking for buying, it's buying perfectly because the higher time frame originally wants to go your direction. It becomes a pain on lower time frame when you're doing the opposite. Maybe the market wants to buy on daily, you're trying to sell it, right? You're going to make a lot of losses. So this is why your 1 minute entry can play out, 5 minutes entry can play out because why? You're trading in line with the bullish market. All right, so you must understand this. All right. So now I will still teach you guys maybe in the next video how to determine if the market is going to be bullish or bearish. That's what I call daily bias. I will kind of explain that in the next video. So this video is just for you to understand the concept of the power of praise. A very powerful concept. Now you know that the reverse is the case for a bearish. That means for a bearish market, it's just the opposite. That means the market will do what? it will open here, and then market wants to run down. Remember, it will open here, run higher. This is the manipulative leg, and then you see what the drop down. So you have to wait. When the market opens, you're waiting for price to go above the open price to give you what that sell confirmation. That means once the market goes above, then you cannot look for what. Once you have your sell confirmation, remember you have to look out for what sell confirmations. You don't just buy, you don't just sell. You have to look for sell confirmation. Then you can take your sell, and then you can possibly do what hold for what the expansion. You can imagine if you cause a sell at this upper week, and then you now roll the sell all the way down. That is a lot of pips on the daily time frame. So that is basically what. So this distance between this open price and the upper, what we call the manipulative area, and then somewhere around the distribution of what the shorts came in. So market smart money will do what accumulate longs, manipulate price, and then do what distribute their original positions. So the smart money likes to buy, at a good price and sell at a good price. So they want to buy at this lower week portion for a buy. So now, how can we translate this to the daily time frame? Now, when the market opens for the day, you mark what open price. Now we're going to this for the daily time frame, for the D1. So when the market opens, right, you mark the open price, that's New York time, and then when the market drop down, you're looking for what confirmations. Looking for what confirmations to do with the day low. So let's go to real chart and try to understand this from the real chart perspective. Right, now we go to the real chart. All right, so I think I will just look for a trade that kind of took I'll look for a trade that took let me look for a trade that took on the 15 minutes time frame. All right, so that's what I actually took. I'm not going to use a trade that I took to explain all this, so you guys can understand it. All right, so once you guys understand this thing, all right, now look at it. Now look at the structure of this market. This market was what bearish. So you had a bullish market, a higher high, higher low, higher high. Then what we have what a break. All right, I'm not using 15 minutes time frame because I want to make it easy. But you have to obviously look at a daily time frame. So the market is what open. We have what a bearish market, right? So we have identified the market is bearish. This was actually sometime last week. I called this on Friday or so. All right, now what do we have here? Remember the power of trade I just explained to you guys. What do you do? Now we were on the Friday. I took it on Friday. I remember this one. I took it on Friday. So what do we have here? How do you apply the power of trade on the 15 minutes time frame? Remember that this is for daily. Now you bring out your tool, and then where is it open? Remember it's New York time. So you simply look for what's midnight. Where is midnight? Here. That was the midnight price. So you mark it as a midnight open price. That's a midnight open. The New York midnight. So you have your midnight there. So midnight. All right, so you have your midnight there, midnight open. So you have a or daily open. Then how you say midnight open or daily open. So now I think you just use daily open. Why is the midnight and daily open? All right, that's what you use. All right, that's a midnight daily open. Midnight is actually the beginning of a new day. So you have your midnight price. Remember that we are anticipating market to do what to sell. So remember what we have. As on a bearish day, you want to see market do what this. Remember, don't forget. The market has to open or run higher and then drop down. So now the market's opened. What do we see? The market did what? It ran higher. So we have gotten what? This manipulative leg on this candle. This is what the daily candle looks like using the 15-minute time frame. So now we have the open, the market has done what? Run higher. So we have what? The accumulation of longs, the go manipulative, and then we're looking for what sells. So now what was I looking at? We are bearish, so we're looking for what sell. I was looking for a sell on this market, obviously. I was looking for a sell. So I was looking for a reason to go short. So now I was watching this chart. What do I have here? You can see that, okay, I can see that there was a break, another break of structure. So that the liquidity was cleared here by this candle. So there's a kind of other block of smart money institutional candle around there. So we now have what? A break of structure. So now we have what? A break of structure. All right. Now what do you have there? We now have this last buy candle as my candle of interest because that candle took a liquidity and that was my entry. So I simply put my limit where at the open of this candle. So I ran that. That's what my limit. I was targeting one to have my limit here. Top was above here, and that was what price played. So have you seen that? Okay, we have gotten now. Remember what we were talking about. We have our open market has run higher, and the market to drop down. So I saw price run higher than the open price, given all this manipulative leg, and that was we have a short. So now you can see how we saw this. So when we have it, market eventually came there, and you can see how it sold massively. Can you see how it sold? It never came back. It just kept selling, never came back to the end, and then it dropped, like it dropped crazy. Can you see how this is just, I don't give just one example. Have you seen how this thing is beautiful? and it's the reverse for a buy. It's the reverse for a buy scenario. Right. Let us see if we can catch a can extend a buy scenario. Let us go back. All right, let us go back to where we had a buy. Let us use one for a buy. I might not talk about weekly one. I'll talk about just daily, right? So to don't be too long, all right? I'll talk about the power of trade for the weekly, and then let us make this for only daily time frame, right? So it's not be too cumbersome, right? So I make another video for that of the weekly, all right? So let's take price back here. It's also caught an entry somewhere around there. I think I did. Yeah, I believe I did. So market was still bullish around there. So we saw how we see how this was on Wednesday or so. So the market was still bullish around there. Remember, market was still bullish around there. So you see how the bullish setup, right? All right, so what do we have here? Market was still bullish. You can see that the market has not given us a break or so. The market was still giving us an impulsive leg. So we are bullish. You can see how the market has been impulsive. Can you see that impulsive leg? So we are obviously was in a bullish market. So I was looking for what reasons to buy. And remember what the power of trade, how we use it. We want to see price drop below before going higher, right? So for a bearish, we want the market go higher before dropping lower. So now what do we have here? So we are it was actually on Tuesday or so. Can't remember the day again. All right. So midnight was somewhere around there. It was midnight price. Remember, the market at that time of the day when you saw the 12 o'clock candle, that was around there. So we are looking for buys, right? So now you notice that this market first of all went higher, but notice that we are looking for buys and not sells. One market to do what? To buy, not sell. We're looking for buy entries, not sells. So one price to go lower than the open price when you're what bullish, you must have a high time frame structural analysis, not also look and looking for open. You understand? So the market did this. What do you have? Market drop down, and then all right. Give me a moment. Let me just do something right now before we actually continue. All right. All right. Just I want to just show you guys something before we continue. Just something very quickly. Something quickly. All right. So this is an announcement that um our mentorship program is actually on a discount. All right. We're actually on a discount and um we're actually on a discount and it will be running to the end of the year. All right. That means if you want to join us, you can join us at a discount because next year the price is going to be topping up. Right. We had a lot of results. I think one of my students he told me that he made about $4,700. Now imagine someone that joined at that time when it was just $58, right? He joined when it was $58 and then he has made what $4,700. So now who is actually benefiting from it? You paid $58 to come to my academy. I taught you and then you made $4,700. So minus it, minus this, minus 4,700 from 58 and know the difference. You see that it's you guys you cannot pay me enough, right? You can't pay Elektronfx enough. What we give you is far above what you're paying. It's just a commitment fee. So let me share my screen so you can see what I'm talking about. So this is our Elektronfx program. We teach you how to trade from scratch. I've taught over 100 and something students right now, and they're doing very well. So we have designed a system where we teach you from scratch. You learn smart money, and we teach you proper. This is one thing about it. We teach you. There's no, in fact, so many academies don't teach you this. I teach you proper and sound risk management. We also teach you psychology. Something you don't find in so many academies. And then you have we set up group where we give you setups, not signals precisely. We don't tell you buy or sell. I don't spoon feed. I just tell you what I expect on the market. Okay, do this, do that, and then we'll give you. Then we have live classes every week. Yeah, and when we have an access to community of top players, you imagine interacting with guys that have trained for more than up to 2 years now. Imagine the guys that have been training for more than a year and interacting with them. You're obviously going to make what a headway. All right, and then we have a free harmonic pattern course. It's supposed to be worth $150. In fact, if you could check online and just type harmonic scanner and check the price, it's worth $150 monthly. But we're going to give you this for free, and you'll be able to use it. All right, and this is so much more. And then next year, we'll be funding Profem traders. That means if you come to Elektronfx Academy and you prove your worth, we're going to give you a free Profem account. You're not going to buy an account, we'll give you free of charge. Right, so that's what we're adding next year. It's going to be amazing. So we are actually giving a discount on this. Next year is going to be $45,000. All right, but now we're giving a discount at 28 and it's ending on the 31st of this month. So if you want to join us now when price has not got. And believe me, by this time next year, our mentorship program will be going to nothing less than $100,000. I'm just telling you ahead because we don't have time to play around. We have seen result, and that's what they're doing. So if you want to have more if you're not convinced, just go to join my academy, go through my students' testimonies, you will see for yourself. I'm not here to casual you play games on it. All right. So that's so let's go back to what we're talking about. Now back to chart. Now we are bullish on this market, all right, and then we were trying to catch a buy. All right, then we saw price go ahead. That is what we're looking for. We want the price to go lower, and then price when it wants lower than the open price, right? Although I was looking at this to get but I did not. So now what do we have here? We have what a target on increase on the upside. So looking for price to go lower. All right, so I was watching this, and then what did I see? Finally, I saw price what it did what you can what can you see? The market did what it dropped lower, and what did it do? It did what it took out of this Asian low. Can you see? Can you see how this is playing out? So the market ran higher, created liquidity here, and then drop down. Can you see this drop down here? To do what? To take out of this Asian low. Can you see that? So when it took out Asian lows, I still got Asian lows. Then I went, I think, on the 2 minutes time frame. So that's why I got my entry. So I was actually watching this. All right, I was watching this carefully to see if there was if I would get an entry. So when price did that, I was just watching carefully to see if I would get an entry. So mainly price took out Asian lows. Look at it. So I started this clean this lows here, and then it was daily open. Let me mark that again. Daily open. All right, I want you guys to get this thing. So I'm taking time to explain this. I thought that was the daily open price. So the daily open, and then price it ran lower. So what do we have here? We saw price giving us a break of structure. So it was actually a bullish break. Market closing above what? This. All right. So that was actually so market broke above and then came back to retest it. So if I was trying to buy this, the best way to do the also was I just mark the open of this candle, extend it in the future, and then taking that as my point of interest. So that was the safest way to enter the That was the best. So just simply put your long at the open of this candle, stop loss just below the wick, and that was like a $12 stop loss. So we can now go back to chart. So that was what I was targeting to entry there. So to be safe. So we are going to go to a very clean entry there. And what do we have here? I think I'll go for 1:3. So 1:3 was somewhere around there. So we had it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have 1:3 here. And that was, you can see, it was a very, very beautiful trade and amazing. You can see it 1:3 hits just there. So you can see how I've explained this thing for both bullish and bearish scenarios. You can see how 1:3. Can you see it? This is just so easy. It's a very easy concept I use. And for confirmation entries, I don't really explain that so much, but I'll just show you the one. We have so many confirmation we use for at the Elektronfx Academy, and that is why in general pay mentorship. Please don't miss out on this. We have since out a lot of results, and we can also change your story for you if you're willing to cooperate with us. All right. So that is basically all for now. I think the next video I'm teaching you how to apply this to the weekly time frame, and then you can see the power of 3 on the weekly time frame. This was the daily time frame and how you can use it for intraday. So the next video we'll talk about the weekly time frame and power of 3 on the weekly time frame. That's what we talk about swing trading, how to know when to swing trade, how to hold a trade from the lower portion of the weekly candle for a buy and from the upper portion for a sell. But I hope this video was insightful. So I wish you guys the best and good trading. Cheers and see you in the next video.